Hey y'all, hi, welcome back to my channel. It has been a minute once again since I filmed. That promise for consistency kind of went right out the window, but you know what? I'm only human. I can only do what I can do. And I just haven't really felt very inspired lately. It's been super busy. Work has been sapping all of my leftover energy. Plus I've just been like reading a lot and not wanting a lot of like after work hours screen time. So obviously this kind of fits into the whole situation. I did film a short because, you know, the Sephora sale is currently on. I think for all of us plebes, the sale, if you're like a VIB, starts tomorrow. I'm filming this on the 17th, so it starts Tuesday the 18th. I've got a couple things in my shopping cart, but I filmed like a dream cart because I'm not really shopping for makeup or anything like that at the moment. So if you do want to check that out, I will link it here and you can just walk through a little 1-minute dream cart short with me. Otherwise, the reason we are here today is to film something that I haven't really seen in a very long time, and that is a what's in my bag. Now, I used to love watching these when I was younger, but then I think I just got a little bit disillusioned with the whole concept of like what's in my bag. Once I realized that so much is just like not authentic. When I realized that the what's in my bag was really just kind of an avenue for showing off like sponsored products. It was just a really easy way for people to be like, without disclosing, obviously, oh, I love this product, I keep it with me all the time, and then you find out that it was actually something that the person was sponsored and like paid to say. But I am going to try and give you as much of an authentic what's in my bag as possible. Now, something to know about me, I don't really think I've talked about this ever because first of all, I'm not a bag person. I'm not like a fashion bag, fashion accessory individual. I like to keep things really low key when it comes to like bags. They need to be functional for me. I don't really like a kind of over the shoulder purse. I have very little patience for like actually having to hold something if I'm going out. So I am a backpack girl, which is what this little bag is. So I was thrilled when the mini backpack kind of came back into fashion because before that I was having such a hard time finding something that was kind of the size of a day bag but also as functional as a backpack. Then obviously like fanny packs or like belt bags came in. I do have a fanny pack, again, nothing overly fashionable, it's just black with a zipper. I was using that a lot for like bike rides, but I need to carry things with me at all times. I have an attachment to my things. I cannot go anywhere without my wallet, a lip gloss, Tylenol, you know, all of the things we're gonna find in my bag here. And so having a functional bag for me is super important. It doesn't, again, need to be super fashionable. I don't need the latest, you know, it bag. I just don't care about that kind of thing. The fact that this bag is Steve Madden is a coincidence. It just happened to be the bag at Winners that I liked. That was all black. I love a purple moment, clearly, but I don't always want to be carrying around a purple bag with me because it needs to still go with all of my outfits. And I also, if I'm going to be wearing a backpack and I'm in like a professional setting, it needs to suit that setting as well. So a sleek, black, leather-ish looking backpack totally serves that function. Let's get into it. First, this is a new addition to the bag. Just a standard little claw clip because you never know when you're gonna need to put your hair up. We're gonna start with the front pouch here. Now, fair warning, there's a lot of shit in my bag and usually I'm carrying more than one bag, but we're just doing purse today. Backpack. So, you know, as a professional who is often in professional spaces, the first thing I have, of course, is business cards. It's kind of a weird thing to have still, given that we're in the digital age, but you would be surprised at how often you actually need to hand someone your business card. Next up is an all-purpose screen slash lens cleaner. If I'm wearing glasses that day, they get super, super dirty. My lashes always touch the lenses, so it's very essential for me to have clean glasses. My screen on my laptop also gets dirty, as does the screen and the lenses on my phone. So this is kind of an essential item. You can use like an eyeglasses cleaning cloth. This just happens to be something a little bit more specific. It's like a specific screen polishing cloth, and it stays in my day purse and or backpack at all times. Then we have, you know, some essentials. Eye drops. Do you have allergies? Are you a contact lens wearer? Keep eye drops on you at all times. You never know when you're gonna need them. Bobby pins and little teeny tiny hair elastics. Essential. Again, you never know when you're gonna need a bobby pin in a pinch, or when someone else you know is gonna need a bobby pin in a pinch. Then we have a little medicine holder. One of many medication holders in my purse, let me tell you, but this specifically says medicated to perfection, not in any kind of fun way, but it is filled with Tylenol and Benadryl, because your girl has chronic allergies and chronic headaches. Then, you know, sign of the times, we've got a little Vicks Vapo inhaler, because you never know when you're gonna need to clean those airways. It was a lifesaver this winter. Don't judge me. A lighter, because again, you never know when you're gonna need to set the world on fire. Now, I have an abundance of lip products, and there's one that's actually missing, and I think it's in my boyfriend's hoodie. I need to have something moisturizing my lips at literally all times, but you also need a variety. You never know when you just need a clear lip chap for hydration purposes, or just coming out of winter. It's very dry here in Ontario in the winter time. A lip balm, a good quality lip balm, essential. But I also always like to have some medicated relief, because you never know when those lips are going to get super, super chapped and splitting. And having a really effective medicated lip balm is a really good idea. This one is from EOS, and it is the Fixer. I didn't know until almost reaching this part of being finished it that you're only supposed to use this like 2 times a day, but found that out the hard way. Then I have this glossy lip stain from Quo. Gorgeous, in a red shade. You never know, like a red lip is so classic. It's kind of the safest lip color to have in your bag. Pretty much goes with everything, can't really go wrong. And I like to have a lip stain because I don't love having to reapply constantly, and this is in the shade Slick, and I really, really, really like this one. Then I just have this soft blur lipstick from Freck Beauty. Hello, this is far too bright to actually show this. This is in the shade Makeout Club. Love it. It's kind of this more like burnt sort of brick red shade. A little bit of a different texture from the lip stain. I just haven't taken this out of my purse since I bought it, but I also haven't really used it a lot, but it's gorgeous, and like kind of has this like soft blur finish. Just another really kind of safe shade for me if I do want some color on my lips. Then I have 2 of these Ritual Defeat Lab Access Release of the Thorn Bite Peptide Plump Creme Lip Oil. Love the fact that Ritual Defeat does the lip access, or the lab access rather. We'll be talking about these later, but I also did another cute little short about this if you're interested in seeing the application. The one I've been using the most is Rose Dew, and I actually desperately need something on my lips right now, so we're just going to go ahead. It is virtually sheer, the Rose Dew, but feels stunning. It feels like a Ritual Defeat product, and again, we will get into this probably in an upcoming favorites video, but I've got 2 of these. This one just for my lips, but shinier kind of vibe, and then the shade Rose Crush, again, if I want slightly more tint to my lips, but not like going bold red. All right, that concludes the front pouch. Now, the big bad boy. It is full. This is a heavy little backpack, and it's like maybe a mini size backpack on like an average height individual. I'm only 4'11" with a tiny body. This is pretty much a full-size backpack. Let's just be honest about that. All right, I guess we'll start with some more hair accessories. I've got myself a little teeny tiny wet brush, hair brush. I love this thing. I use it on wet and dry hair. I just love it because it's teeny tiny and it's also very hairy because I was using it all weekend with some additional little rubber elastics on there. Then I have 2 of these hairpins, which I talked about in my last favorites video. These are phenomenal if you're not feeling a claw clip. This kind of style hairpin, especially if you have 2 of them, just allows for so many different really easy chic hairstyles. And they're small and they fit really, really easily into a bag. Then I've got 2 nail files of the same kind. These are both glass files, so I don't know why I have 2 of them in here, but you know, it's always good to have a nail file on you. If in a pinch you don't have a nail file, but you happen to have a metal zipper and your nail catches or breaks, the metal zipper will work temporarily, just as a little PSA for you. Now, again, I am a chronically ill girly with tons of allergies, so this is a very important thing to have in my bag. Life-saving EpiPen. If you too have allergies that are chronic and life-threatening, please don't forget your EpiPen. Just another public service announcement for you from me to you. We want you to live. Ooh, more hair clips. But that should actually be in my toiletry bag. Now, I am a writer. So I cannot leave the house without a notebook and or mini agenda, which this so happens to be. I actually have not used this little agenda for anything agenda related, but it's actually just turned more into like a notebook. On the 26th of March, I saw a gorgeous sunset and happened to write a poem. So, you know, it's basically just a book with sheets of paper. But I also find that super, super essential for any kind of bag that I'm carrying. Sometimes I do have to sacrifice that, but I don't like to if I don't have to. Then I've got a variety of pens here. Honestly, unnecessary that I have this many pens in my bag, but these 2 specifically are my favorites. I've talked about this pen before, but I really, really, really like a fine, scratchy tip pen. I don't like silky ballpoints. I need a scratch. I need some kind of friction when I'm writing. And then I've got a purple one because it's me. The other 3 are just kind of miscellaneous and not really worth mentioning. Then this is kind of an emergency device. Obviously, we have flashlights on all of our mobile phones these days, which is great. But you know, in a pinch, your phone might be dead. It's always just great to have a flashlight in your purse. And this one is super, super tiny. It's perfect for a bag. Even if you have a really tiny bag or like a wristlet, this would fit perfectly. And it's just light, you know, just in case of an emergency. Always be prepared, folks. Nothing wrong with a little bit of preparedness. Okay, we have some receipts. Don't need to talk about that. Wallet, obviously important. It's got my money. It's got my IDs. It's got all of my various rewards program cards because, you know, everything requires a subscription or something now. Everyone wants you to earn their points, so you gotta have those. I have 2 packs of gum, which I didn't actually intend to keep in my bag. I kind of bought them at the same time and one should have gone out, but I'm pretty sure now I've opened both of them, so gotta just leave one behind. But I always like to have a pack of gum in my bag. Personally, I prefer gum to mints, even though there is a waste issue with gum. But I like to be chewing on something rather than just sucking on a mint and then it dissolves and then it's gone and then you feel like you need to eat another one. Personal preference. Don't know what to tell you. Deodorant, always, always important. Y'all know if you've been here for a while that the native deodorant, especially in the scent sugar cookie or toasted marshmallow and vanilla, ultimate favorite, although I do have another one and we're going to talk about that soon too. Also from Native, but just a different scent and a different profile, scent profile in general that I'm super, super surprised about. Anyways, always great to have a deodorant on you. Now, do I wish that this was the mini? Yes, because this is actually quite a heavy product to be carrying around in your bag, but I ran out of all my minis, so the next time I purchase a Native order, I will have to grab myself a couple others. But, you know, at least this is the eco-friendly one. Not that it really matters. It's heavy, but essential. We don't want to be stinky. Okay, we've got some hand products here. I have 2 different hand sanitizers. Again, don't need both of them. Definitely could lose one. But, you know, whether you want to go down that road or not, we are still kind of in pandemic times. Not full out, obviously, but COVID is still a thing. Germs are still a thing. I like to have a hand sanitizer on me. Also, you don't know when you're going to have to pull over on the side of the road and pee. Hand sanitizer. It's just a good thing to have. Again, always be prepared. Then, because I hate a dry hand moment, I have to have a hand cream on me at all times. We've talked about this before. I have a hand cream in every single section of my house. Wherever I am spending any kind of time, there is a hand cream. So this is the miniature of the Body Deli Palm Springs Spa Collection. I love this scent. I have talked about this scent before, and I actually have a big size of this, so when this is all done, I'm just going to be refilling this because it is really the perfect little size for a purse or a day bag. Now, again, because I'm a medicated girly, we've got a puffer for the asthmatic times. We have Gravol, because I get car sickness. And we have extra strength sinus medication daytime relief. Allergy season, just general sinus headaches. Always be prepared. Again, you also don't know when someone whom you're out with might need one of these things. It's not a bad thing to be the friend who has Tylenol, who has hand sanitizer. The one thing I don't think I have is Band-Aids, which is a tragedy. But, you know, then of course we have the cable for my phone charger, also essential in the digital age. If you have a brand new phone, you very likely have a full day's worth of phone battery. That charge is going to last you probably more than 24 hours. But if you're doing things, if you're on your phone all day, that battery's going to run out, and there's literally nothing worse than reaching 5%. And then all of a sudden, 5% is gone like that. And then your phone dies. Always be prepared. Then I've got a little insert here, which is full of more medication. Clearly needed. We have NyQuil capsules for overnights. We have additional Gravol things, and this is some more Tylenol cold and sinus nighttime. And then I've got a couple tampons because I am a menstruating human. But again, you never know when another menstruating human who you're around might need a tampon. It's just a good thing to carry around. Okay, we have only 2 things left in this bag. Oh, wait, 3 things. I found another tampon. You are in the wrong section. Okay. 1, I have a knife. Have I ever used this? Have I ever pulled this out in public? Literally no. Am I intending to use this in a self-defense kind of moment? Probably not, because it's in like the farthest compartment of my bag that is filled with all of this other stuff, and that would be absolutely ridiculous for me to try and whip out in a moment of crisis. So it's not really the most practical location to carry a knife, but it's just something that I like to have around. You never know, I might be trapped in the woods and like want to whittle something. It's just there. Always be prepared. What if the apocalypse hits while I'm out? At least I have something with which I can hunt and whittle. Okay, now this is the last item in my bag, and it is possibly one of my current most prized possessions. It's in its own bag just so that I don't lose it. Now it is this absolutely fabulous, and I don't know if it's really going to show up on camera, but it is a decision-making coin that my wonderful boyfriend made me. And it's just so thoughtful, it's so cute, and it's come in handy more times than you would expect. Like literally, I don't love making decisions. He doesn't love making decisions. Put us together and we're terrible at making decisions together. So you never know, when in a pinch, you just need to flip a coin. Sure, you could flip a quarter or a nickel or a dime, but let's be honest, I have none of those. So carrying a decision-making coin is just super, super useful, but it's also become kind of a good luck charm for me, and I absolutely adore it. And so I just carry it with me wherever I go. But again, I put it in its own little bag. So this is actually a bag of bags, simply because it is so valuable and I would hate to lose it, and it has already gotten lost in amongst all of this other crap that's in my bags. Now, that is truly everything that is in my bag. And I think it's, you know, maybe a little bit excessive for some, but again, if you know me, I am not a minimalist. I need to carry around things because I never know. I am a worst case scenario planner. Having all of this stuff eases my personal anxiety. Speaking of which, if I am going somewhere, especially for the weekend, one of the things that is always in my bag, or should always be in my bag, is my anxiety medication, which I have to take once daily. But if I'm also going out, whether it's for a day or night, I also do like to carry just a little bit more makeup with me. I don't want to have a whole makeup bag, like, unless I'm, you know, going for an overnight or something, I'm not bringing my makeup bag with me. If I'm out for the day, if I'm at the office and I feel like it's gonna be the kind of day where I like might need a touch up or two, or like I'm going somewhere after work, I do usually like to have a blush with me, and I'm usually just popping into my purse whatever the current blush I'm using. So right now that's the RMS Beauty Pomegranate Fizz blush. If you can tell, it's like pretty well loved. Or if I'm really, you know, pinched on space, I will try and bring something a little bit smaller. This is the Ritual Defee Color Nectar Pigment Balm in the shade Bee Sting. And this is actually kind of important because if I need a touch up at the end of the day, I'm maybe not sure what I'm going to be doing at the end of the day. It's nice to just kind of have more of like a neutral blush. So for me, Bee Sting is like just a very natural color on me. I'm not necessarily going to like start the day off with like a more purple blush or something, or a more orange blush, and then just not know what's coming at the end of the day. And touching up the flush in my cheeks with something that's just kind of lives at home naturally on my skin is just a really safe bet. And this one, because it is a cream, also so happens to, you know, double as a lip product if I didn't have these other lip products with me. Now, if I didn't have room for a blush, I absolutely could, you know, just apply with my fingers, but sometimes I do just like to bring a little miniature buffing brush with me as well. And again, depending on what the end of the day brings, sometimes I find that just a touch up of blush is totally enough, but if I'm like super tired or struggling with some blemishes, I do sometimes like to bring my concealer as well. The one that I'm using right now is one of the, I don't actually know what this is called. The product name is not really on here, but it's this gorgeous concealer from Juvia's Place, but it's like quite chunky. This is not really my ideal packaging for that. If I don't have a lot of space, I'll like try to stick a little teeny blender with me, or a concealer brush that is also small and could fit in like one of these little sleeves. But I don't really love to bring more makeup around me than that. Again, I've got so many lip products that also could double as cheek products. I would maybe stay away from like the lip stain because so many things can go wrong when you're trying to do like skin application. But this Freck Beauty lipstick could totally double as a very kind of neutral blush, especially given the texture of it. Like, it's not too creamy or sticky. But yeah, overall, that is everything that lives in my bag on a daily basis, and I truly do bring this with me everywhere. Very rarely do I kind of shrink it down. If I were just going out on like, I don't know, a special occasion date or like a work event, I would probably pare things down, but I would still need to have my essentials, which includes like my wallet, my phone, my EpiPen, definitely some Tylenol, which would mean like whatever medication I could fit in like this little compartment would definitely need to come with me, probably a bobby pin, and, you know, a lip gloss. And one thing I don't have in here that is really upsetting me is Kleenex. Again, because of all of my like chronic illnesses and allergies, my nose is constantly running, so I do like to have purse Kleenex. It's just something that I haven't picked up. I need to go grocery shopping, so put it on the list, and we'll just insert a spot for that in the overall experience. But one of the reasons why I wanted to film this, now that we're kind of done going through everything, is because I actually have a week and a half long vacation coming up, and I would kind of like to pare this stuff down for that trip. I'm going to be taking, I think, a different bag perhaps. I haven't really decided. I'm still about a week and a bit away from when I leave. But this gives me a really good idea of like everything that is in my bag, other than just kind of looking into the dark abyss when I open this on a daily basis. And I think I just want to streamline everything for that trip, just so that I don't feel overwhelmed, because honestly, as much as some of this stuff helps to curb my anxiety, it can also be very anxiety provoking to have so much stuff on you at all times. So that is just something for me to take into consideration as well. And I think maybe in my next video, we will do sort of a reverse engineering of this, only with my makeup and toiletry bag. So maybe we'll do like a little bit of a pack with me situation, because I'm going on a ski trip. So it's not like I need to be planning for like every single night I'm going out. Like I'm gonna be outside. The biggest thing on my list in terms of like cosmetics is probably like waterproof mascara and sunscreen. On a day-to-day basis. So it's not going to be too crazy, but I do still want to have like some nice basic makeup options, and obviously need to make sure that all of the boxes are ticked off in terms of a week and a half long vacation's worth of toiletries. So we shall maybe do that together in my next one. But for now, that is everything for me today. I hope that you enjoyed this. Again, I don't really see a lot of these like what's in my bags very often, and when we used to see them, I just never felt that they were like overly authentic. Sometimes they were, and you would literally just see garbage tumbling out of a person's bag, which is maybe not what we want to see, but at the same time, I think we're still very much craving for like real humans without the whole facade and the dog and pony show. And that is always how I try and show up here for you. It's just authentically me, authentically Alanna, for all of her quirks and things. Okay, with all of that being said, I'm going to bid you adieu. I'm going to resume my cup of tea, and I might go out and run some errands because it's a Monday, and what else do you do on a Monday night? Okay, love you all so much, and I will absolutely see you in the next one.